Assalamu alaikum viewers. Welcome to UW podcast series. I'm Dimple Kumari and I welcome my guest Dr. Asma Arif. Assalamu alaikum madam.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
कैसे हैं आप मैम?
मैं बिल्कुल ठीक-ठाक।
Welcome on the board ma'am.
थैंक यू सो मच।
Dr. Asma Arif is serving as an assistant professor in University of Wa Economics Department. She has also provided her services as chairperson Department of Economics, University of Wa. Also, I'm super proud to announce that recently she has been appointed as global global special correspondent in Chinese Social Sciences Today, which is a Chinese newspaper where she's presenting Pakistan. She earned her PhD degree from School of Management and Economics, China University of Geosciences, under prestigious Chinese government scholarship. Her research interest includes critical global issues like green finance, carbon emissions, and also economic growth and sustainable economic growth. In addition to her academic achievement and professional achievement, she also serves as a PI, as a principal investigator in international funded research scholarship, which is supported by Pakistan Science Foundation and National Natural Sciences Foundation of China. And I guess it's nothing less than an opportunity to discuss sustainable economic growth, positive behavior, and economy today to discuss with Dr. Asma.
Thank you so much, Dimple, for such a detailed introduction. First of all,
Ma'am.
I would like to appreciate this initiative of the podcast series because here we can highlight issues which are worth important not only for the Pakistan but also for the rest of the world. And secondly, from this platform, I also got the opportunity to represent my department. Our Department of Economics is a very small but full of active researchers, and they are engaged in the R&D activities. And um, uh, in short, I can say that I am proud of my Department of Economics.
Okay, ma'am, since you're from economics department, so can you please brief us about your department, like the programs you're offering, your faculty, and the facilities your department is providing to the students?
Mhm. Dimple, first of all, Department of Economics is offering 4 programs. One is undergraduate program, and 3 programs are postgraduate. One is MS Economics, PhD Economics, and advanced. One is an advanced diploma in applied health economics. As far as the faculty is concerned, faculty is fully trained and skilled, and we have almost 5 PhD doctors. And all of, as I already discussed, they are actively engaged in the R&D activities. And even during their PhD studies, they have availed multiple opportunities uh, to upgrade their skills from foreign countries. So, and as far as the facilities are concerned, uh, I would like to discuss here. Last year we have arranged 2 international conferences. One is under my funded project by the Pakistan Science Foundation and National Natural Science Foundation of China, and the second one is funded by the HEC. And that was basically a training program for the faculty of the University of Wa, but our students of the Department of Economics has actively participated for the organization of this event. So I am proud that our department is fully providing all kind of research and organizational activities to upgrade the skills of the students.
So no doubt it's a proud moment for economics department and University of Bath.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your invaluable services. Okay, ma'am, since we are going to discuss the role of positive behavior, economy, and sustainable development. So far, we can say positive behavior is concerned. What is positive behavior with reference to economy and sustainable development? अगर आप थोड़ा सा brief करना चाहें कि positive behaviors basically होते क्या हैं अगर हम economy की और sustainable development की context में देखें.
Dimple, positive behavior, that is a very broad term. We cannot explain in one single sentence. For example, in my point of view, positive behavior basically it represents the actions of individuals and governments that utilize the natural resources at their maximum, efficient utilization of the resources. Secondly, they focus on the long-term planning rather than availing short-term benefits. And we can also give some examples of the positive behavior. For example, if we pay taxes honestly, and if we invest in the renewable energy, and if we try to reduce the waste materials. So, if I sum up all the discussion, positive behavior means that economic growth should not be in conflict with the, should not damage opportunities of our future generations.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Secondly, ma'am, the concept of climate change. क्लाइमेट चेंज का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है इट्स वेरी हाइप्ड कॉन्सेप्ट, बहुत हाइप है क्लाइमेट चेंज की. सो अगर मैं बात करूँ कि क्लाइमेट चेंज जो है वो पाकिस्तान की इकोनॉमी को हाउ इट्स अफेक्टिंग द इकोनॉमी ऑफ पाकिस्तान, और व्हाट बिहेवियरल चेंजेस वी कैन मेक टू एड्रेस दिस प्रॉब्लम.
Dimple, climate change now, it is a very sensitive issue nowadays. As we have, for example, we are witnessed to the damage of climatic change recently in Pakistan. Uh, Climate change is severely impacting Pakistan in different forms. For example, last year we are witnessed of damage of flash flood in the northern areas, and also the flood of the year 2022. And on the other side, we are facing the challenge of increasing heat waves. That is not only lowering our labor productivity, but also on the other hand, it has created one more challenge for our economy, and that is the glacier melting, and which is a reason for the instability of the water in our economy. So, if we isolate the economic effects, the first of all, it is simply damage of the our agriculture sector, livestock, and our
If
infrastructure.
Pakistan is an agricultural country, how much is affecting from climate change?
Yeah, and also climatic change is also will be reflected directly in the uh, uh, your health expenditures, increase in the health expenditure, and the increase in the infrastructure expenditures as well. So now the question is, what kind of behavior we need in these circumstances? What positive behavior? We should invest in the water conservation policy, water conservation practices, and we need to switch to the climate smart agriculture. And on the other side, we should increase the opportunities to invest in the renewable energy. But here, one more important things is we cannot wait for the government to
Okay.
come forward and take some initiatives. I think this is a time to believe in the individual efforts.
Okay.
As an individual, I believe that we should come forward and take small initiatives. And I also believe that individuals and small groups of people can make a big change.
Exactly. So, ma'am, if you are talking about individual initiatives, so there is lack of awareness. What kind of initiatives do we need to take as an individual to deal with these issues, to deal with these concerns?
I think, Dimple, if we talk about the individual actions, they can start different initiative. For example, they can start plantation drives. They can start anti-pollution campaigns, and also they can start how to reduce the waste materials within the campus and outside the campus, and that is.
So, ma'am, I have a question. Can a country grow economically without influencing, without harming the environment of the country? Is it possible?
I think, Dimple, economic growth and sustainable development can go hand in hand if growth is environmental responsible, and if it is socially inclusive, or if it is focused on the innovation and efficiency. So, for example, investing in the renewable energy creates more job, and also it reduce pollution. But if we overexploit the our resources, that is only in conflict with our long-term sustainability. So, the key is the quality of the growth and not the speed of the growth. Speed of the growth sometimes it is very harmful for the economy.
Ma'am, since the countries they are concerned with rapid economic growth, right? They have the concern of rapid economic growth. So, what do you think is rapid economic growth? Is it beneficial or is it creating harm for the country?
Dimple, I no more believe in rapid economic growth. You know,
Mm.
uh, if the it can harm our sustainability. For example, if growth is associated with income inequality, if the we expand our urban areas without any plannings, we focus only on the short-term benefits, short-term growth, and without considering the social and economic consideration, it can it can be more damaging for our long-term sustainability. So I think only balanced and regulated growth is more important for the long-term sustainability. For example, if we ignore the long-term sustainability, the outcome may be even more worse. So I think keeping in view the social and economic consideration and uh, for example, if our speed is slow, it is acceptable, but the speed should not be in conflict with the
So it should be on
sustainability.
optimal level,
Is it would be optimal level and regulated and balanced.
balanced level. Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, as far as ethical behaviors are concerned, in from economic point of view, so what are ethical behaviors and how they can strengthen the economy? एथिकल बिहेवियर्स क्या हो सकते हैं विद रेफरेंस टू आवर कल्चर पाकिस्तान के कल्चर में कौन-कौन से एथिकल बिहेवियर्स हो सकते हैं दैट कैन स्ट्रेंथन आवर इकोनॉमी?
Uh, um, Dimple, ethical behaviors are very important because, as far as the economy is concerned, it directly build the investors' confidence. Secondly, it reduce corruption, and if we work on our ethical behaviors, we can strengthen our institution by encouraging fair competition. So, when governments and the businesses are more accountable, more transparent, and the public trust increases. As a result, what happens? Our investment increase, and ultimately our economic stability improves. So corruption. If we talk about the corruption on the other hand not only reduce our resources but also discourage economic development.
मैम, हाउ कैन वी स्प्रेड अवेयरनेस अबाउट एथिकल बिहेवियर्स इन आवर
Dimple, it is very easy uh, to have a training of our peoples and students. We can start counseling sessions, and this is a podcast series, and that is a very right way, because uh, I think that on the daily basis, if you only spread a good thing that is that may be more beneficial for the students and faculty and common peoples to inculcate traits among them, which is important for our society. Because as I am working with Pakistan, I feel that we need to work on the ethical behaviors in Pakistan. What I always experience is whatever we feel that is objectionable, that is not objectionable. But in foreign country, that is highly objectionable. Even we can go behind the bars if we follow that practice. So I think we really need to work on the ethical behaviors, and our ethical characteristics are very weak.
Okay, ma'am, moving on to the next question, that is sustainable business. What basically is sustainable business? Or the other thing is, can a company remain profitable while adopting environmental friendly practices? Is it possible for the company to remain on the ground of profit?
Uh, Rimble, a sustainable business is one that operates in a way that it minimizes environmental cost, firstly, and secondly, it respects its workers and its communities. And your second part of the question, yes, companies can remain profitable if they working to reduce energy cost, and also they work on to improve their brand names, and also they attract such customers and uh, which are conscious to the environmental friendly products. So I think sustainability often leads to innovation and efficiency and long-term reduction of the cost.
Okay, ma'am. So earlier you talked about individual initiatives, right? So now the turn is towards the government policies. right?
Yeah.
What are government policies? Government policies का क्या role होगा in promoting sustainable and responsible economic behavior? What role or policies can make here?
Uh, Dimple, government role is also very important in this regard. In Pakistan, there is a real need to work on the provision of the incentives for the renewable energy, firstly. Secondly, there is a need to impose taxes on pollution. For example, as far as the Pakistan is concerned, if we emit pollution in the air, there are not so much regulations. And the imposition of taxes is almost missing. So I think we need to work on this side. On the other side, say a third side, I think we need government should need to work on the green finance provision of the green finance.
Okay, ma'am. The concept of community development. It's very highlighted concept. So, what do you think? How community development it promotes economic growth, economic stability, and along with economic stability, how it promotes how it promotes your social well-being.
Dimple, community development is very important because through this, we have more access to education and skills, and also we have access to the healthcare facilities. I feel when communities are empowered, they become economically productive and also more resilient. For example, if the local participation improves, then what happened? It ensures developmental project and it make it show that whether it is according to the real need of the people or community or not. And in short, if we conclude, it strengthened the long-term sustainability of the economy.
Okay, madam. So, ma'am, moving on to the steps taken by youth and universities. We both are associated with educational sector. So, what do you think? What practical steps can be taken by our youth and universities to promote a sustainable economy in Pakistan?
Uh, Dimple, youth and universities both are very important. They can take few steps that can contribute to a better Pakistan and more strong Pakistan. For example, they can promote. As already, I think you discussed this question with me that what initiative we can do at our own at the individual level. So, if we talk about the individuals, students, and universities or youth, what they can do, they can promote environmental awareness campaigns, and also they can reduce waste and energy materials, and they can participate in the tree plantation drives. So we need to always keep remember youth, young people are powerful agents of the change, and by adopting responsible habits and promoting innovation, they can help to build a sustainable and resilient economy. So I believe, and I always, whenever I discussed with my senior, I always highlight this point that youth should come forward, and our youth should be assigned some task for just for the sake of the change in our country. So that's it.
Okay, ma'am, thank you so much for sharing your opinions, for sharing a wonderful guidance. Thank you so much. Anything else you want to talk about under this domain of economic growth regarding Pakistan?
Uh, i- uh, as far as economic growth is concerned of Pakistan, it's been almost 5 years I'm back from China. It is very encouraging.
Exactly.
Situation of Pakistan is very hopeful. Our youth is very energetic, and our youth is motivated. So, if I am hopeful, I have an opinion. If we are consistent and if we are dedicated, we can improve the growth of our economy. But on the other side, we also need some initiatives or some steps. For example, as in our discussion, if we sum up all, we have discussed about rapid economic growth.
Yes.
I never suggest anyone to go for the rapid economic growth. Growth should be consistent. Growth may be slow, but
But it should be
consistent.
consistent.
If it is regulated, if it is balanced, then it will take some time, but with the passage of time, everything will be all right.